Hello again, everyone. This is Mary at Great Light Rising. In this episode, we're talking about sound vibration and how sound is being used to heal the human body. We'll skim the surface of some basic information about the science of sound healing and talk about the many ways in which sound is being leveraged for physical healing as well as deep trauma release. In fact, sound therapy is not new. Both Tibetan singing bowls and Ayurvedic chanting have been in use for thousands of years to influence healing in the physical body at the mental and emotional levels and also at the spiritual level. However, modern advances and scientific exploration of sound healing in modern times are bringing new awareness of and powerful new uses for this fascinating healing medium. Sound is vibration. Waves of energy traveling through a medium, such as air or water. We hear sound with our ears, and we also feel sound vibration with our bodies. When you hear a frequency with your ears, your body can hear it at a cellular level. Your energy field acts as a medium through which the sound waves travel, like air or water, bringing the vibration into the cells of your body. We can think of disease in the body as disruptions in the body's processes. Ancient practices like chanting and playing singing bowls has long been known to remove these disruptions and restore harmony. In modern times, sound healing practices like biofield tuning and sound baths are gaining traction as complementary approaches to wellness. When exposed to certain sounds, the biological rhythms of the body, such as heart rate and brainwaves, synchronize with the frequencies of those sounds. This creates resonance in the body. It's called entrainment. In other words, specific tissues vibrate in response to matching frequencies. At the cellular level, this can create deeply healing effects such as reducing stress, inflammation, and pain. Studies suggest that vibrational therapies modulate the autonomic nervous system, lowering cortisol, regulating heart rate and digestion, and improving immune response. Further, sound healing can tune distortions from trauma or disease, releasing them from the field. When your energy field heals, you feel better physically as well as mentally. Hey, before we move on in the science of sound healing, let me pause for a moment and ask you, if this is a topic that you enjoy, please click the like button and consider subscribing and sharing the video with a friend. That really helps out my channel and encourages me to keep making these videos. The emerging field of vibrational medicine bridges ancient wisdom with modern science, drawing on tools like tuning forks, binaural beats, and cymatics, the study of visible sound patterns. When we talk about sound, we think of sounds that the human ear can register. However, sound waves are measured in terms of frequency and vibration, and there are lots of experiments going on and instruments being developed that use healing frequencies beyond what the human ear can hear. Fritz Albert Popp was a German biophysicist, and he proposed that living cells emit tiny pulses of light called biophotons. Popp showed that disruptions in biophotons, or the cells of your body, particularly around 380 nanometers, are linked to cancer. Finding frequencies that resolve these disruptions could potentially therefore heal cancer. A lot of work has been done in that area and continues to be done. I know one day that's going to become mainstream. On another level, Eileen McCusick has done a lot of work with tuning forks in her biofield tuning method and creating forks with special resonance. For example, her Fibonacci pair of tuning forks introduce harmonic frequencies that align the body's energy field with the golden ratio. And her 174 Hz fork aligns the energy field with a frequency known for its general restorative ability, along with pain and stress relief, and the ability to ground us. Eileen has also created forks that represent harmonics of Earth's Schumann resonance, the healing frequency of Mother Earth. Sound enhances coherence in the body's electromagnetic field, which in turn helps to bring the body's chakras back into balance, while removing stagnant or blocked energy that can lie trapped in the biofield. The ancient use of Tibetan singing bowls laid the groundwork for contemporary sound healing. The principle that sound vibrations can restore balance to the body's energy field echoes ancient Himalayan beliefs, now supported by emerging research in vibrational medicine. For example, studies in the magazine Frontiers in Psychology, published in 2020, suggest that singing bowl therapy reduces stress and improves mood. But you don't need a study in a magazine to tell you that. Just try it and you'll see for yourself. Everybody knows that music is soothing to the soul. In a biofield tuning session, unweighted tuning forks are used to comb through the biofield, identifying regions of incoherent frequency that can then be gently harmonized and released. These forks emit clear, sustained tones that shift when encountering pockets of dissonance, providing both an auditory and vibrational map of imbalances. Weighted tuning forks, on the other hand, are applied directly to the body, on the pressure points or near the site of chronic pain. Their deeper, more tactile vibrations are used to stimulate specific points, often for the purposes of pain relief, nervous system regulation, and stress reduction. The physical vibrations help bring coherence to the tissues and energy channels, encouraging the body's natural healing processes. Research and case studies support the idea that biofield tuning positively impacts a wide range of conditions. These can include chronic pain, anxiety, PTSD, and fatigue. It does this by helping to regulate the autonomic nervous system and promoting a return to homeostasis. Long before science caught up, ancient cultures knew the power of sound. Egyptian temples, Tibetan singing bowls, Vedic mantras, all were tools of vibrational healing. Sound was both art and medicine. Ayurveda is an ancient Indian system of medicine. In the Eastern Ayurvedic tradition, chanting is used to stimulate different organs and energy centers in order to promote deep healing. Chanting is defined as the rhythmic repetition of sounds, words, or phrases, while holding the same note for an extended period of time. In Ayurveda, sound is considered a powerful tool for harmonizing the body, mind, and spirit. The practice of chanting is intricately linked to the concept of nada yoga, the yoga of sound, and the belief that everything in the universe, including the human body, vibrates at specific frequencies. When these vibrations are disrupted, physical or mental imbalances arise. Chanting specific sounds or mantras is believed to restore harmony by aligning the body's frequencies with those of the universe. Ayurveda associates certain sounds or vowels with specific areas of the body, often tied to the chakras, energy centers. For example, Om or Om. The sound of Om is considered the primordial sound of creation, resonating with the entire body, particularly the crown chakra and third eye chakra. Chanting Om is believed to calm the nervous system, reduce stress, and promote overall physical balance. Ah. The vowel sound ah is linked to the heart chakra, associated with the chest, heart, and lungs. Chanting this sound is thought to open the chest, improve circulation, and support respiratory health. E. The sound E corresponds to the throat chakra, influencing the throat, thyroid, and vocal cords. It's used to alleviate throat-related issues and enhance communication. Oo. The sound oo resonates with the sacral chakra, connected to the lower abdomen and reproductive organs, aiding in digestive and reproductive health. These associations stem from the belief that sound vibrations stimulate specific nerves, glands, and organs, promoting energy flow and removing blockages. Lam and Ram. Chanting the mantra Lam for the root chakra helps one to feel balanced and grounded. Chanting Ram boosts digestive fire in the solar plexus, aiding digestion and helping you feel empowered. Practitioners often combine chanting with breath work, called pranayama, and meditation to amplify its healing effects. In addition to Ayurveda, other Eastern traditions, such as Tibetan Buddhism and Chinese medicine, emphasize the therapeutic role of sound. Tibetan monks use deep, resonant chants and overtone singing to balance the body's energies, while Chinese medicine employs specific tones to harmonize the qi or life force in organs. These practices reflect a shared understanding that sound is a bridge between the physical and subtle bodies. There are certain frequencies that are very soothing to the human spirit and activate certain moods or emotions within you. These can be used to reduce stress, improve meditation, or simply relax. You may have listened to music at frequencies like 528 Hz or 417 Hz. We'll talk about those special frequencies in just a minute. Binaural beats work by playing two slightly different frequencies in each ear to create a perceived third frequency, syncing brainwaves to states like relaxation, focus, or sleep. This, of course, works best through headphones. This illusion of a third frequency is the difference between the two frequencies chosen. For example, if you hear a tone at 200 Hz in one ear and 208 Hz in the other, your brain perceives a third tone at 8 Hz, the difference between the two. This is called the binaural beat. That subtle difference, or delta, between frequencies has a powerful effect. It can influence your brain waves. Research suggests that listening to binaural beats can guide your brain into specific states, like alpha waves for calm focus, theta waves for meditation, or delta waves for deep sleep. This makes them useful for stress relief routines, sleep aids, and guided meditations. One especially interesting connection lies in the Schumann resonance, which I referred to earlier. The Schumann resonance is a natural frequency of about 7.83 Hz that pulses in the Earth's electromagnetic field. This frequency has been linked in humans to deep relaxation as well as intuitive insight. Sound healing practitioners might use binaural beats that generate a beat close to 7.83 Hz for this reason. It helps tune the body and the brain to the Earth's natural rhythm, like syncing with the heartbeat of the planet. Many people report feeling more grounded, less anxious, and mentally clearer after listening to binaural beat music. It's especially effective when combined with other healing frequencies, such as the solfeggio tones, which we're going to talk about next, or ambient soundscapes designed for soothing stress and emotional tension. It turns out that music is a highly mathematical combination of art and science. Pythagoras was the first person that we know of in history to develop specific ratios for musical resonance. According to legend, he was walking past a blacksmith's shop and listening to the different pitches of hammers striking anvils. He observed that some sounds were harmonious, while others were not. He later discovered that certain hammers produced harmonious tones because their weights had a simple numerical relationship, like 2-to-1 or 3-to-2. Pythagoras designed a simple way to develop sound ratios. He built a device that was a single string stretched over a sounding board, like the idea of a single guitar string or violin string. By pressing on the string at different places, the string produced different sounds, just like a stringed instrument. He then developed mathematical ratios for what essentially became a primitive musical scale called the Pythagorean tuning system. For example, the musical notes C and G, when played together, are called the perfect fifth. What does that mean exactly? If you start at C and count up 5 notes, using the musical alphabet, C, D, E, F, G, you land on G. That's why it's called a fifth. But why is it perfect? Well, it's all about vibration, how fast each note is moving through the air. When we say C and G are a perfect fifth, we're really talking about the ratio of how fast the two notes vibrate. For every 2 times that the note C vibrates, the note G vibrates 3 times. That's called a 3-2 ratio. Our ears love this kind of balance. It's smooth, stable, and pleasing, like two kids swinging in perfect rhythm. Other ratios Pythagoras especially liked were the perfect fourth with a ratio of 4-3 and the octave. The octave is where the notes repeat themselves. So in the key of C, we talk about lower C and upper C. The difference between them is a ratio of 2-1, meaning one note vibrates twice as fast as the other note. His work laid the foundation for the modern musical scale and influenced the development of the solfeggio scale, which is widely used in tuning fork healing modalities. We'll talk about that in a minute. While we're on the subject of Pythagoras, I just wanted to mention his cosmic philosophy, known as the harmony of the spheres. Pythagoras theorized that the planets and stars move according to mathematical equations, which correspond to musical intervals, creating beautiful celestial music. The music, or frequencies, are out of range of human hearing, although it might be possible that we've been tuned into them from birth, such that our bodies might experience them on some cellular level, just as we cannot hear the Schumann resonance, but we know it's always there, exerting a subtle effect on us. Exactly what effect is difficult to quantify, since it's never absent from Earth and extends as far as their ionosphere, beyond Earth's atmosphere. So even those working on the International Space Station are still within its range. But we know it varies within a small range and it's not always constant. And we know it's influenced by solar activity and other environmental factors that influence the ionosphere. And we know that all of those things together influence human behavior, mood, stress level, and intuitive ability. So there is a cosmic orchestra playing in the background of Earth and space, and that influences us on subtle levels that are difficult to measure or understand. In the 11th century, a Benedictine monk developed a system of musical ratios, essentially a musical scale, known as the solfeggio system. It contains 6 musical notes: ut, re, mi, fa, sol, la. The solfeggio scale is built with specific frequencies between the notes. This is where it gets its healing power. Every frequency in this scale adds up to the number 3, 6, or 9. Where have we heard that before? The numerical symmetry found in the solfeggio scale echoes the importance of the 3, 6, and 9 idea. In sound healing, this pattern is taken to suggest that these frequencies resonate with some universal law or cosmic harmony. Let's take a look. Ut is 396 Hz. This frequency is good for turning grief into joy, liberating guilt and fear. If you add up the numbers 3 plus 9 plus 6, it equals 18. And if you add up 1 plus 8, you get 9. Re is 417 Hz. This is good for undoing situations and facilitating change. If you add up the numbers 4 plus 1 plus 7, you get 12. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Mi, 528 Hz. This frequency is known for transformation and miracles and for repairing DNA. Again, the numbers 5 plus 2 plus 8 equals 15. 1 plus 5 equals 6. Fa, 639 Hz. This is good for relationships and connecting with our spiritual family. The numbers 6 plus 3 plus 9 adds up to 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. Sol, 741 Hz. This frequency is good for expressions and solutions, cleaning, clearing, and solving. The numbers 7 plus 4 plus 1 equals 12. 1 plus 2 equals 3. And finally, La, 852 Hz. This frequency is good for helping us return to spiritual order. The numbers 8 plus 5 plus 2 equals 15, and 1 plus 5 equals 6. Here's a sound clip that plays these frequencies, starting with the ut and ending with the la. There's something else interesting we can notice about this scale. If we take a look at the delta between the frequencies, the difference by subtracting a higher frequency from the next highest frequency, we get values that all add up to 3. So the first frequency, 396 Hertz, we can subtract that from the next frequency, 417 Hertz, and we get 21 Hertz. 2 plus 1 equals 3. And then taking 417 Hertz and subtracting that from the next highest frequency, 528, and we get 111 Hertz. 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. We can do this for all the frequencies. Later, 3 additional frequencies were added, 2 below and 1 above this solfeggio scale, 174 Hertz and 285 Hertz below and 963 Hertz above, forming what's now sometimes called the solfeggio scale of 9. The 174 Hertz frequency is said to resonate to security and love. 285 Hertz is restorative, and 963 Hertz resonates with the divine cosmos, sometimes called the God frequency. And the delta between those new frequencies maintains the harmony in the 3, 6, and 9, as well as when you subtract one from the other, it maintains the pattern of the difference adding up to the number 3. I hope you're getting the idea that there is something to this sound healing business that simply transcends the merely physical and seems to resonate at various layers of the metaphysical universe. The ancients obviously knew something that was forgotten or ignored over time, but now we're remembering. Many New Age practitioners are using sound healing in their practices by incorporating tuning forks, gongs, singing bowls, and so on. In my healing practice, I use drums, tuning forks, metal bowls, crystal bowls, and I also use some other percussion instruments like a rain stick. The traditional musical scale follows a system of 12 semitone steps. In the key of C, which begins with middle C at 256 Hertz, will then end at the C above it, which is 12 semitones, actually 13 semitones, after middle C. So that note is referred to as C5. So from C4 to C5 is 1 octave. This means there are 7 notes in a scale, from the first note of the scale to the last note of the scale, representing 12 semitone steps. The 8th note, or 13th semitone, is the first note of the new octave. Using mathematical ratios and formulas of the delta between different notes, whether it's a tone or a semitone, all the other notes in the musical scale can form a scale of their own. There are also mathematically derived minor scales, pentatonic scales, and so on. Just as a scale can begin on any note, a note can be tuned to a specific pitch. A pitch is a frequency, the number of times that note vibrates. So that just means the note C can be tuned to various different frequencies. Modern orchestras use 440 Hz as the precise frequency to tune the musical note A4, the first A above middle C. All the other notes are then tuned to line up with that frequency using mathematical intervals or ratios that we've been describing. Healers and those interested in metaphysics prefer to tune the A4 note to 432 Hz because it produces more soothing and healing tones. There are mathematical arguments in favor of the 432 Hz tuning that align with bigger cosmic principles and support the connection between geometry and sound. These same arguments don't follow in the 440 Hz tuning. Those are complex, and I won't go into it here. I know there are other YouTube videos out there about pitch. But if it interests you, I do recommend the book by Robert Grant and Talal Ghanem. It's called Philomath, and it's about the geometric unification of science and art through number. I hope you're getting a sense of how important not just the numbers 3, 6, and 9 are, but all numbers. Numerology, arithmetic, mathematics, and geometry are all important tools for deciphering the keys to how the universe works, and consequently how we can perform at our best within its bounty. If you're a healer, a light worker, or a seeker of truth, this is where you'll find much of what you need to understand in order to manifest, in order to heal, in order to enlighten others, in order to evolve spiritually. I hope you'll keep exploring it more and more. Now let's get to how you tune the body using tuning forks. Tuning forks come in a variety of different types. They can be tuned to both the solfeggio frequency and the traditional frequency, and they come weighted and unweighted, and all of them can be used for chakra balancing. To get pure notes, use tuning forks or crystal singing bowls that are tuned to solfeggio frequencies or traditional frequencies. Your chakras respond to certain frequencies. Each chakra responds to a different frequency range. If you are choosing the traditional musical scale, choose instruments in the scale of C, as discussed above, tuned to 432 Hz. Even though the solfeggio and traditional scale have different frequencies, you can still use either one of them. Your chakras are not precisely tuned, but resonate within a frequency range. The root chakra operates in the approximate low frequency range of 2 to 400 Hz. So the note C in the traditional scale, which is 256 Hz, that's C4, and the note ut in the solfeggio scale, which is 396 Hz, will both work for this chakra. Here's a simple chart for tuning the chakras. An easy way to use the forks is simply to take an unweighted fork and strike it on a rubber tuning fork striker, obtaining a clear and consistent note. Hold the fork to your ear. Close your eyes and let the sound resonate through you. Notice what you feel. Picture your chakra becoming clear and spinning freely and smoothly. Picture it becoming the purest representation of its color without any darkness. If you are using weighted forks, you can place the fork on your body, such as on your chest or on your forehead or on your tummy. Experiment with different places on your body and different fork frequencies. You can also use the singing bowls for self-healing. In general, the crystal singing bowls are easier to tune and hold the note better than the metal bowls, which often have more than one sound. So if you're doing chakra balancing, the crystal bowls are a bit easier, but you can use the metal bowls too for the release of stress and physical pain. Sit quietly in meditation with your bowl as you play it by running the striker around its rim or gently tapping it with a felt hammer. Playing the singing bowls requires practice. You have to tune your mind in with it. I call this finding your Zen with the bowl. When you find it, you are in a healing state, and it will help you feel calm and grounded. Tibetan singing bowls, also known as Himalayan singing bowls, are metal bowls traditionally used in spiritual and healing practices across the Himalayan region, including Tibet, Nepal, Bhutan, and India. Their history and application in sound healing are rooted in ancient traditions, blending Buddhist and shamanic practices. Bowls were handcrafted by skilled artisans, often in Nepal, and traded across the Silk Road, spreading their use to Mongolia, China, and Japan. Their production was a closely guarded art, with techniques passed down orally, contributing to the mystique surrounding their origins. They were said to be made of 7 metals, each corresponding to a celestial body and believed to carry specific spiritual and energetic properties. Each metal was designed to resonate to a specific one of the 7 chakras. Modern bowls don't always use the same metals. Instead, the bowls are sometimes tuned to the frequencies of a specific chakra. In practice, I find the singing bowls will sometimes find resonance in the chakra that is most in need of balance, rather than the one it's being tuned to. Because they are metal alloys, they don't just give out a single frequency, but often give out several different notes depending on how you strike it and how it meets the energy that it's in. If you close your eyes and feel the sound in your body as you play the bowl, you'll know what I'm talking about. In the ancient tradition, though, here are the 7 metals and their correspondence. Gold, the crown chakra. This metal represents the sun, the source of vitality, enlightenment, and divine consciousness. It brings radiant energy, spiritual awakening, and reinvigorates the life force. Silver, the brow chakra, or third eye. This metal represents the moon, the source of intuition, emotional balance. It brings calming, nurturing energy and heals the subconscious. Mercury, quicksilver, the throat chakra. This metal represents the planet Mercury, the source of communication, intelligence, and transformation. It brings mental clarity, adaptability, and enhanced energy flow. Copper, the heart chakra. This metal represents the planet Venus, the source of love, harmony, and creativity. It brings emotional healing and compassion and stimulates heart energy. Iron, the solar plexus. This metal represents the planet Mars, the source of strength, protection, and action. It brings grounding, courage, and resilience. We talk about the iron will. Willpower comes from the solar plexus. Tin, the sacral chakra. This metal represents the planet Jupiter, source of expansion, wisdom, and optimism. It brings abundance, higher knowledge, and spiritual growth. Lead, the root chakra. This metal represents the planet Saturn, the source of discipline, transformation, and deep introspection. It brings stability, grounding, and karmic clearing. Blending all these metals together is said to create complex harmonic resonance that engages the body on many levels. It also brings a spiritual signature tied to planetary influences. Because of the special combination of different metals in the Tibetan-style singing bowls, they are significant and useful tools for healing, not just merely musical instruments. Although I would argue that all music is healing, whether you are playing it, creating it, or listening to it, immersed in the depths of different tones, frequencies, and musical scales, floating away in your mind, finding peace, or feeling music's healing frequencies running through your body. We'll end it here, and I hope you'll go off and listen to some lovely music now. Your body is like a musical instrument, each of your chakras resonating to certain beautiful harmonic frequencies. If you've liked this video, if it's helped you in any way, please give me a thumbs up. Consider sharing the video and subscribing to my channel. I can really use the help to grow my channel so I can bring more information like this out to you and others who might need to hear it. In the meantime, keep shining your light, my friend. Remember, we are together the great light rising.